Broken glass and graffiti causing classes to be canceled in the St. John Hudson School District today. The Wichita Police Department says an officer who had a heated exchange with Mayor Whipple caught on body camera was not at fault. He was coming to his church to get ready for service when he realized his AC unit was gone. Hutchinson police taking a 12-year-old boy into custody after finding a loaded gun in the student's backpack while he went to school today. Neighbors say this intersection has multiple issues, from how the crosswalk works to the sun making it difficult to see in the morning. Scroll down, you can see our trending stories for the day. Number 1 on that list is tornado that touched down in Liberal and EF0. One of the main priorities for the city council is public safety. The Wichita Fire Department is getting $45 million for 9 of its fire stations. Festivities were held across Kansas at colleges and high schools. Halstead High School had 49 graduates this year, and for one of them, receiving their diploma was 78 years in the making. We've been talking all morning. Great way to start out the new year.
Oh, it really is. Yesterday was,
that was awesome.
No sham.
People here at the extension office have been going in and out, waiting in quite a long line to cast their ballot early. It's nice to actually see 80s in the forecast with some rain. We have not seen that for many weeks.
No, we really haven't.
Chiefs Kingdom is celebrating after taking the win over the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday. Now they've reached yet another AFC championship game. Happy Saturday, Kansas. Taking a live look over downtown Wichita on this Saturday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Samantha Boring. Fireworks lit up the sky over Wichita last night. We caught them here on our sky view overlooking downtown. The 51st Wichita Riverfest is in full swing. Festivities kicked off yesterday with the annual Sundown Parade. Jack and I, along with the rest of the KSN crew, were there walking the parade. The beginning of this year's festival was on the rainy side, but KSN's Hannah Adamson spoke with plenty of people who say nothing will stop the fun, rain or shine. For those hoping to catch a ride downtown, Wichita's Q Line service is expanding. Services run from 6:15 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday and until 11:45 on Saturday nights. The rides are free and run along Douglas. This marks the first year visitors have to pay to park at Century 2 during Riverfest. Organizers say they haven't seen any issues so far. For people planning to see Hamilton next week, they say to come early to get parking and show your ticket to get access to the Riverfest food court without a button. Boat tours are back, giving you a chance to dive into history while floating down the Arkansas. One skipper says the boat is made to look like the wind wagon crossing on the river on a barge. They came up with the idea about 11 years ago. In order to hop aboard, you need to have a Riverfest button. There are life jackets available for visitors. They run from noon to 8 today. And if you missed the first day, do not worry. You've still got till next Saturday to enjoy all the fun. There will be stiff competition at the Wichita Ice Center as teams pull on their knee pads and skates for the roller derby today. A race like none other. You can catch the bathtub races on the Ark River at 2. Plus, you can catch Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors on stage tonight at 9. And joining me once again is meteorologist Jack Maney. And Jack, we had a blast yesterday in the parade, but I was not expecting to get that soaked. We were pretty wet at the end of it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that rain chance, it really did verify right there on top of downtown Wichita, right during.
And whether you're heading to Riverfest today or have other plans this weekend, you can stay ahead of the weather right from your phone. Just download the free Storm Track 3 weather app. A man accused of stealing a truck and killing 2 people now charged. Jimmy Ginn is the third is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder or 2 counts of second-degree murder in the alternative. This comes after Alina Alder and her boyfriend Nathaniel Ashworth were driving and hit head-on last weekend, killing them both. Ginn is being held on a $500,000 bond. A man arrested in the beating death of his mother also charged. Devin Joel is charged with first-degree murder, aggravated burglary, and aggravated robbery after Casey Joel was found with significant trauma earlier this week. Joel's bond is set at $1 million. With just days until the deadline, lawmakers passed a debt limit deal averting a potentially catastrophic default. President Biden praising the bipartisan efforts, including negotiations in good faith. He says though unity is hard, we can never stop trying. Biden adds no one got everything they wanted. Part of the deal, more than $1 trillion in budget cuts. Another part of the deal, new work requirements for older Americans getting food assistance. Local experts say people considered able-bodied working adults between the ages of 50 and 54 have to prove they're working a certain number of hours to stay on their benefits. The new requirement has some worried. She adds with kids out of school for the summer, it's a busy time for providing meals. They expect numbers to stay steady, if not increase. President Biden says he plans to sign the bill today. Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach is now backing off on threats of a lawsuit against Governor Laura Kelly. This concerns Kelly's line item veto of part of next year's education budget, which she says would take money away from rural districts. Republican leaders fire back, claiming she exceeded her power through line item vetoes. A spokesperson for the AG's office says they won't take any action at this time. With the 2024 election creeping closer, political parties and candidates are getting ready. Democrats say they're targeting moderate voters. Kansas Capitol Bureau reporter Rebecca Chung sat down with the chair of the state's Democratic Party for an exclusive interview. Coming up on Kansas Today weekend, while some of us work, these voters are taking the day off. How many joined in on Voter Skip Day? Next. Workers spent the majority of Tuesday cleaning up after Monday night's crash. Right at the time of the wreck, Tammy Portello arrived at home when she heard a scream.
Once you're a mom, you know that scream, and it was just different. The second scream was just, it was different.
Tammy Portello called 911 as soon as she realized what was happening at a gas station in Derby.
That's a scream of a mom that has somebody in that car.
Flowers and balloons make up a memorial where the 3-year-old girl died in the crash.
I've been seeing it on Facebook all morning, and so it's just been resonating with us since we've read about it.
Joy and her friend Andrea placing flowers to show their support.
Right now, the family, they need their space, so this is our way so they know we are thinking of them.
Many still wonder how this happened. Derby Police Chief Robert Lee says his team is looking at a number of causes.
Is it just simply an accident? Is it a vehicle defect with the actual vehicle itself? Is there a medical reason behind it? Is there any other extenuating circumstance behind it?
He says it will take some time to get those answers. Police have not released the name of the driver who hit the vehicle pumping gas. That person heading north on K-15 from Sumner County.
They turned that corner onto Metal Arc is when something happened that caused that vehicle to careen into the parking lot of the Quick Trip and strike the car that was filling with gas.
Chief Lee says they know the mechanics of how the car traveled. Now they need to work backwards to see why it took the path it did.
She was a mom just pumping her gas, and instantly, that whole family's life changed. That it could have been anybody.
There is a GoFundMe for the family. So far, it's raised over $40,000. We have details on that on KSN.com. Once the Derby Police Department determines its findings in this investigation, it will be turned over to the district attorney's office to see if any charges will be filed. Here for you in Derby, Samantha Boring, KSN News 3. You may have been swatting moths these past few weeks. Experts say these army cutworms are native to Kansas, and there are 2 contributing factors that are making these worse this year. Fluttering here and there, but not usually to this extent. Miller moths are becoming a nuisance across Kansas.
We just noticed that the water heater wasn't working well.
These moths look for dark places to hide during the day, like Angie Weber's water heater exhaust pipe.
Sure enough, they were packed down in the bottom.
She paid $200 to have them removed.
It was pretty gross and, not a great thing that they cost me money.
An issue hitting many homes.
I spend my evening swinging at moths and stuff and trying to kill them.
The problem is bringing a surge of calls to patent termite and pest control.
I've done this for almost 20 years, and I've never seen anything like it before.
Warmer temps and the drought are to blame.
We don't normally see this many because when the soil is wet, it kind of creates a fungus within it, and that fungus will actually kill these caterpillars.
Experts say the moths won't lay eggs or do damage to your home. Soon, the pesky problem will be gone.
As big of a nuisance as they are to let them kind of make their way over west so they can go feed some grizzly bears.
Over the next few weeks, the moths will head west to pollinate flowers and be a source of food for grizzly bears. As we wait for the moths to migrate, experts say to turn off any unnecessary lights and vacuum them if they are inside. As for migration, they expect them to be fully migrated by June. Here for you in Wichita, Samantha Boring, KSN News 3. Each weekday morning, Goddard bus driver Wayne Weiss picks up his students on his route, welcoming each student as the doors open, until one day, a good morning turned into something more.
She stepped on the bus one morning, as I recall it, We both said good morning to each other at the same time, and she stated, I said it first, meaning she said it first. And I argued with her, said, no, I said it before you, and that started the contest.
I came up with the challenge that whoever says good morning first wins.
From there, the games began.
Good morning, Lennox.
I would say, Mr. Weiss, good morning, and I said it first.
And it got to the point where I would open my window and see her standing out, and I would yell, good morning, Lennox, to her down the street. She'd get on the bus, say good morning, say, I won. I said, no, you didn't. I yelled it out the window. She said, I didn't hear it, so it doesn't count.
Due to some health issues, Lennox didn't get to ride the bus all year. But on the last day of school, her mom helped make that good morning extra special.
We made him a mug with a bus on it saying, good morning, Mr. Weiss. And then on the back with my own handwriting, it says, I said it first.
And Lennox said, now I win every morning.
I saw the cup and I thought, well played, Lennox, well played. I actually teared up because I thought, you know, I hadn't thought that our contest was that important to her.
Lennox says each day the contest went on, it helped her feel ready for school.
He would come up with something to make you feel better. He would come up with something to make you laugh.
Both say this competition of good manners lives on in their memories.
He's my best friend. Like, I really wish I still had him as a bus driver.
Even though she doesn't ride his bus anymore. Whenever she sees Mr. Weiss, she makes sure to say good morning first. Here for you in Goddard, Samantha Boring, KSN News 3.